Some sequels are lazy cash grabs. Some exist because the studio couldn't help itself. And every once in a while, a sequel shows up and quietly does the job better than the one that came before. Welcome to 5 films you should like, if you don't already. And this week, I've got 5 sequels that didn't just repeat the formula, they refined it. They deepened it. And in a few cases, they completely redefined the franchise. Let's get into it.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. You forgot to say please.
In 1991, Terminator 2: Judgment Day took a lean sci-fi horror movie and turned it into something bigger, stranger, and more human. Arnold Schwarzenegger returns, this time flipped from unstoppable villain to unlikely protector. Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor evolves from survivor to warrior, and Edward Furlong's John Connor becomes the emotional center of the story. Here are 5 reasons you should like Terminator 2 if you don't already. First, it's not just bigger, it's clearer. The movie knows exactly what it's about. Choice, responsibility, and whether the future is fixed or earned. Second, Sarah Connor's arc is one of the best character evolutions in blockbuster history. She's not a damsel. She's not comic relief. She's terrifying, capable, and unstoppable. Third, the effects still hold up, not because they're flashy, but because they're purposeful. Every spectacle, every moment serves the story. Fourth, it humanizes a machine. Watching the Terminator learn empathy without ever becoming sentimental is weirdly moving. And fifth, it sticks the landing. The ending isn't triumphant, it's bittersweet. And that's one of the main reasons it works.
You good little girl.
2013's Insidious Chapter 2 picks up immediately where the first film left off. Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne return as parents dealing not just with supernatural forces, but the emotional fallout of what their family has already survived. Here are 5 reasons you should like Insidious Chapter 2 if you don't already. First, it rewards paying attention. This isn't just louder scares, it's payoff. Second, the mythology deepens instead of expanding aimlessly. The rules get clearer, and the consequences get heavier. Third, Patrick Wilson gets to do something genuinely unsettling. Watching him play against the image established in the first film adds real tension. Fourth, it treats trauma as cumulative. Nothing resets. Fear leaves a residue. And fifth, it makes the first movie better. It knows it's the second chapter, not a reboot, not a remix, but a continuation. But it continues in a way that makes the first film better.
What's on the menu? It could be ceviche, I could stinky you, it's Boomba.
I gotta tell you, Timon, that song always gets me right here.
Yeah, Pumba. Well, enough of that.
Stay with me on this, but let's talk about The Lion King 1.5. On paper, this looks like a throwaway side project. In practice, it's a surprisingly clever reframe of a story everyone already knows and loves. Here are 5 reasons you should like The Lion King 1.5 if you don't already. First, it commits fully to the perspective shift. This is Timon and Pumbaa's story, start to finish. Second, the meta humor actually works. The movie understands the original well enough to play with it. Third, It deepens side characters without undermining the main narrative. You see familiar moments differently, not dismissively. Fourth, it's genuinely funny. Not just kid funny, self-aware funny. And fifth, it's about finding joy on the margins, not destiny, not legacy, just survival, friendship, and choosing happiness where you can.
We all love Brick.
Sweet Brick.
I'm told the next speaker was very close to him.
Why? Why did you take it from us? Brick, you're not dead.
I'm alive?
Yes. Yeah. I'm alive!
2013's Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, went bigger, louder, messier, and far more divisive than its predecessor. Will Ferrell returns as Ron Burgundy, dropped into a rapidly changing media landscape that no longer rewards his brand of confidence. Here are 5 reasons you should like Anchorman 2 if you don't already. First, it's actually about something. Media sensationalism, manufactured outrage, and the erosion of trust. Second, the chaos is kind of the point. The movie mirrors the environment it's satirizing. Third, the supporting cast gets more room to breathe. Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, and everyone else leans into the absurdity. Fourth, it's strangely prophetic. A lot of what this film exaggerates now feels familiar. And fifth, it's better as a rewatch. Once you stop expecting the first movie, you can see what this one is trying to do.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up.
1982's Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, took a meandering sci-fi franchise and gave it gravity. William Shatner's Kirk faces an enemy from his past, but more importantly, he faces aging, regret, and consequence. Here are 5 reasons you should like The Wrath of Khan if you don't already. First, it gives Star Trek real stakes. Second, Ricardo Montalban's Khan is iconic for a reason. Charismatic, wounded, and terrifyingly focused. Third, it treats time as the real antagonist. You can't outrun it. You can't outthink it. Fourth, the friendship between Kirk and Spock anchors everything. This isn't about winning. It's about loyalty. And fifth, it ends with restraint. Loss matters. Sacrifice sticks. And the movie lets the moment breathe. Well, there you have it. That's 5 sequels that didn't just exist because the first one succeeded. They understood the assignment better the second time around. If one of these earned a rewatch, mission accomplished. And if you've got a sequel you think beats the original, drop it in the comments. Until then, enjoy the movies.